Welcome to Walker Creek Road, also known as Part 11 on the Kentucky Adventure Tour. This particular track is not for the faint of heart. Are you coming along? Today's Kentucky Fried Trails 2024 adventure crew included 11 vehicles, with tires ranging from 31 inches all the way up to 37 inches and lifts up to 4 inches high. The vehicles included 4 Toyota Tacomas, 3 Jeep JK Wranglers, 2 Jeep Gladiators, a Ford Bronco, and 1 European Spec 80 Series diesel Land Cruiser. On a prior trip, Bill and I had driven to the entrance of this particular trail, but after preliminary scouting, we decided that perhaps we should save this trail for a day when we had other vehicles with us. Today, with 10 others along, was that day. Colton and Josie, who were in the lead Jeep that morning, soon found our first minor obstacle.
What's your dad's number so I can send him a picture?
Now, Colton has his own Jeep, but it was being stubborn like Jeeps sometimes are, and so today he was driving his dad's JK. And Bill, probably because he watches too much four-wheel drive 24/7, had to just make a silly comment to try and get him to laugh. That first rut soon turned into the first major obstacle of the day. For anybody who's never tried to drive a vehicle through an obstacle like this is the perfect time to try and mentally put yourself in that driver's seat. Although you would get a good glimpse of this obstacle before you started driving down it, that's all you get to see because after that, the hood's in the way. At that point, unless you have some of those fancy trail cameras that show everything around you, you have to either rely on your spotter or drive like Bill does, by feeling the road beneath you. And now that you've thought about the driver's perspective, what about the passenger? All a passenger can do is look out the window and hold on. As the person behind the camera, I have a perfect excuse to not sit in either one of those seats when a major obstacle looms. But if I'm honest with myself, it probably also has to do with the fact that I'm just a little bit afraid of them. So for all drivers, passengers, and dogs that come along for the ride, I applaud your courage. If you notice a couple people stacking rocks right here, that's meant to try and make this trail just a little bit more easy and accessible for the rigs. But if you watch as all these rigs drive through this obstacle, not a single vehicle ever used them. It's often easy to look at an obstacle ahead and believe that it's going to be difficult, if not impossible to overcome. And it's just human nature to try and take steps to make conquering that obstacle more achievable. But once you confront and defeat that hurdle in front of you, don't forget to look back and realize you had the power to succeed the entire time.
Coming straight. Forward, keep coming, dropping now. Go, little passenger. You'll get out of it, you're good. Yep, straighten out. Straight. Okay, front rear dropping again. Little driver. There you go. Down.
This particular trail loses almost 250 feet in elevation in less than half a mile. And even after that first rocky decline, we had about half of that descent left to go. This part of the trail, however, will lull you into a false sense of security, believing that the hardest part of the trail is behind you. But it's not.
Whoa, that looks pretty crazy right there.
Welcome to the rest of that hill.
Driver. Alright, slow. A little more driver. Alright, keep coming, slow. Keep coming. Keep coming. Your front right's gonna drop. You're down. Bulk up these little rocks on the left. Your right tire on the big rock. Straighten out. Little driver. Yeah, go little driver. Stay on the left side here. Head down, right, drops on the six. Little driver. Keep staying there, stay there, stay there. Alright, your little passenger. Yep, you're dropping now. You're down. Front right dropping now. You're down. It just kind of slides. Straight down, your rear's coming down too. Alright, and then big drop on the rear. 6 inches. Now. That was worse up there than this one. Keep coming, straight, straight, straight. Keep coming, your front's gonna slide down. You good? Keep coming straight, hold that wall. Front right, there you go, you're down. Keep coming down. And then your right rear is gonna drop now. You're good. Now, your right rear might climb up a little bit. Drop here, coming. Front and rear are going to go kind of at the same time. Now. Good, you're down. A little fast. Coming. Little driver. Driver. There you go. Coming. Just hold that. You're going to front left and slide down into the left. Hold it. You're good. Keep coming. A little driver. Front right dropping. You're good. Keep coming. Passenger, kind of drop it down. Slow, driver. Driver. Right, drop it. Your rear is going to drop it. The last one. Driver, 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 driver. Rear's dropping. You're good. Drop it now.
I picked up the phone.
Huh?
I picked up the phone call while I was doing that.
Oh, I was gonna say. Just stay right against that rock. You'll be good. You got a train coming down the hill. Keep coming. The front left's gonna drop. It's gonna slide. Front right's dropping. Straight down. And then your driver's side's gonna drop. Sweet.
And just like that, the largest of obstacles on this trail were now behind us.
Windows down, scattered clouds.
You're on here, girlie.
There you go.
Yes, are you having fun?
Open road, You sitting close. Let's go somewhere far away. 'Cause if all I have is you, I would just go. Yeah, I will just go. Heading for the western shore, while the sun it slowly fades. Days are full, and I'll spend them with you. So let's go somewhere far away. 'Cause if all I have is you, then I'll be just fine.
The majority of Walker Creek's 5.5 miles in length traverse along the old Kentucky Union Railroad bed. And this massive railway embankment is just one of those little pieces of history left behind. This particular area is very popular with off-road vehicles of all kinds. There are at least 3 established tracks to get down to the creek. You'll have to decide which one makes the most sense for you. Bill, well, he decided the best way down was to hit that hill descent button and to follow those 2 gladiators on 37-inch tires down this steep bank.
Just to confirm, I can go straight across the bridge or whatnot, right? Yeah. Cross, and then you kind of look back to your left. I think it's somewhere around that little silo on the right. There should be just a shallow hill that comes all the way down, and then you go through the tunnel underneath.
But also, that first left-hand turn down the hill, it's not bad at all. It's just kind of a hard turn. Watch out for the roots on the left.
Copy that. I want to go across. Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 ways to get down. You can either go down left right here, you can go across and go left, or you can go right where they're going. I actually did never realize that right turn was that shallow, or like that easy. Yeah, in the Bronco, you'll go across, and then the left turn, it's like a hard left. You might have to make like a 2 or 3 point turn. And then when you get to the bottom, I think there's like a little creek or something, you'll turn left, you'll see the tunnel, you'll go through the tunnel. Copy, thanks.
Yeah. I don't even think that's the narrow spot.
This picturesque spot with the towering embankment, gently flowing creek, and mysterious tunnel is a popular spot indeed to stop. Even on a sunny Saturday like this, there was still plenty of room at the bottom for everybody to stop and enjoy the view. And if you wander just a little, you too might find groups of butterflies gathering to soak up that spring sunshine. But all too soon our brief reverie ended, and then we each had to decide which route we would take to get back up to that trail. Rowdy and Ashley were the first to decide to go back out the way they came in. In their 2021 Gladiator with a 4-inch lift and 37-inch tires, they made short work of this incline. Rowdy and Ashley got into overlanding after COVID and chose the Gladiator for its roominess, capability, and looks. Robert was the next one to tackle the embankment. His 2023 Gladiator on a 3.5-inch lift with 37-inch tires also made short work of this challenge. For Robert, overlanding is the perfect combination of his love for camping and off-roading. He took his time creating each detail of this rig to make it capable of traveling far beyond crowded campsites to enjoy remote destinations. Cody in his 80 Series European Spec Diesel Land Cruiser came next, driving up that hill as though it was nothing more than an everyday country road. Matt and Jess soon followed behind. Matt started overlanding almost 10 years ago and originally drove an F-150, but decided it was just a touch too big for overlanding. This 2023 Bronco with a Sasquatch package was the perfect answer. So far, Matt and Jess have updated their Bronco with skid plates, rock sliders, a reinforced steering rack and tie rods, as well as several other overland-related updates. Lauren bought his first truck back in 1989, a Toyota 4Runner First Gen that he still has. His love of camping in the outdoors led him to overlanding. Today, he's driving a 2017 Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro that has a leveling kit and is still running on the original stock size 31-inch tires. But don't let the short tire size fool you. This truck and its driver effortlessly tackled and conquered all of the obstacles on that trail. You might notice that Bill and I decided not to drive up the embankment, and that was because Bill really wanted to drive through the tunnel. The trail beyond the embankment by the creek with the tunnel continued to follow that railroad bed in most cases. But I knew that this trail, it had at least one last curve to throw at us. That drive along the wide, open, gravel track along the old railroad grade, that was nothing. Just a simple and easy drive through a series of mud holes with solid rock bottoms. But from above, you could clearly see that creek starting to creep closer and closer to the old railroad bed. As everybody knows, dirt, gravel, and rock, they like to try to stand strong through the ages. But those spring torrents of rain sometimes have a different plan for them. This part of the grade had clearly washed out years ago, as an established trail snaked its way around the ravine. But that wasn't the part of the trail I was concerned about. Instead, the pictures of this trail that gave me anxiety looked a lot more like this. It's very clear that this section of trail may soon become impassable. It would only take one more day of deterioration, or one more flood. Hopefully today will not be that day. Thankfully, the road today carried all 11 vehicles safely across. Cody was the last to drive across the Narrows, and it's very clear from the video that he has a right-hand drive vehicle because he stayed as far away from that drop-off as he possibly could, even brushing up against a tree on the other side. Soon after this point, Walker Creek dead ends into Old Fincastle Road, and then you have a decision to make. Do you go left, or do you go right? Well, I'll tell you this much. You better be stout of heart if you're turning left, because this is what you can expect to find.
On the right side now.
We're gonna take on the world.
What do you think, Rue? Get me out!
Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, don't forget to go out and find your own adventure.